Don't just sit on your rear. Come on in for a landing. 'Cause we're really gonna make a splash. We've got a dancer who takes a dive. A baby who's playing footsie. And a slip up on the slide. On life's funniest moments. We'll share a gift with you that will topple you over. So don't slip away, 'cause we're gonna be in your face with some back and forths and some ups and downs that are all part of life's funniest moments. These clips are taking you on a fun ride to Happy Town, so hold on. Looking for good, clean, dirty fun? Then look no further than Three Wheelin' in the Mud. There's nothing like throttling up and covering everything around you with a thick coat of silky mud. Unless, of course, you're the guy in the back. The rules are simple. You're still in the race as long as one hand stays on the handlebars at all times. Which makes it a little tricky when this happens. However, our hero should have no problem here. And he does it! On with the race. You're out. Steve Wells searches for seashells by the seashore. Steve Wells, he fell by the seashore. Steve Wells, dampened by swells by the seashore. Steve Wells, tears well by the seashore. I wonder why they call it chiropractic falls. Oh, that must be why. Here's a new recipe called a noggin knocker. Take one mixing bowl, add one baby. Wait. Serves 10 to 12 hearty laughs. We call this meeting of Carpenters Union 77 to order. All in favor of a strike, be seated. Well, maybe we won't go on strike just yet. The swing set, the source of happiness for 99% of the children in the world. And then there's Jake. The best part of the kids' meal is often the toy. Ironically, it's also the most nutritious. baby learns why they call this a dump truck in 3, 2... Good thing she didn't sit in the catapult. To be good at table hockey, you need to take lessons from the master. Maybe someday you'll be as talented as he is. But until then, go get him a bone and pay attention. To Fluffy, anything is a toy, even a container full of food. Oh, come on, Fluffy. Everybody knows you shouldn't play with your food. This poodle's owner gave him a bottle opener to play with, which is a decision he'll regret in about 2 hours when he wants to open a bottle. Drew's parents told him it was okay to talk to the dog. But nobody told him the dog was going to talk back. Coming up, a guy hits the deck and a chorus line wreck. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. Perhaps it was that noted scholar in confectionery delight, the gingerbread man, who put it best. Catch me if you can. You know, this chase shouldn't be this exciting. That cat has 4 legs and the little boy only has 2. This dog is trying to catch a squirrel, but he isn't having any luck on his own. No problem. When a job proves difficult, you can always call for backup. This pheasant doesn't find this noise too pleasant, and he's giving that mower a beakful. But he's keeping his distance. After all, the rule of argument states that the guy on the riding mower always wins. This bunny is chasing this girl. Oh, no, wait, this girl is chasing the bunny. No, the bunny is chasing the girl. Okay, and the couch isn't chasing anyone. What people need to understand is that once you start feeding a duck, they don't really understand when you run out of bread. You don't stop feeding a duck when you want to. You stop feeding a duck when he wants you to. We've brought you winters, we've brought you springs, we've brought you summers. Now we present falls. In many countries, it's a tradition to hold the bride and groom aloft in chairs to signify that they will rise above their troubles in life. Being dropped signifies that you should have fed the wedding party before they lifted you up. Before the dance contest, officials had some professionals come in to show the contestants exactly what they shouldn't do if they want to win. Bad idea number one was having a 60-pound girl spot a grown man. Bad idea number two was a grown man getting on this thing in the first place. While it's important to give baby his own drawer so he can feel like part of the family, it's probably best to build him an entire dresser. The best way to gain an advantage in an athletic event is a strong show of unity by the entire team. Well, that certainly showed unity. Hey, look, it's a group of can-can girls. And unfortunately, one can't girl. The people at the park go round and round, round and round, round and round. The baby got dizzy and hit the ground, hit the ground, hit the ground. Coming up, a groom makes a splash. And a baby makes a save. When we return with more of life's funniest moments. Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments. Think your dog is man's best friend? Well, try asking him to pick you up at the airport. If you want to learn to swim, you've got to get your feet wet. Tahoe the dog plans to do it, but only by getting his front feet wet. And apparently his face. Monty's got a big day ahead of him. Bark at the train, move a stuffed animal over and over. It's hard work. I guess you could say Monty's working like a dog. Charlie loves water, but he hates bowls. Sometimes it's just hard to be a dog. The scouting report on this pooch? Great fielder, not so great at the plate. He would have won a Gold Glove, but they would have to give him 4 of them. Think you're having fun now? You haven't seen anything yet. Dave wondered if he was too over the hill to go sledding. So the hill decided to let him know for sure. Sometimes the best man isn't the right man for the job. Frosty the Snowman was a happy, jolly soul until he met Clark. Now, he's a mogul. You know what the definition of optimism is? Thinking this is gonna work. She's right back to seeing the sandbox as half empty. Of all the dances to choose for a first dance, Andres had to pick the pile driver. Granny wanted to go bowling. The kids wanted to go sliding. Looks like they're both happy. And those kids are the perfect age for the 7-10 split. Some dads start saving for college the second the baby is born. Leonard's plan? Football scholarship. Coming up, a car that definitely needs new shocks. When we return with more of life's funniest moments.
Welcome back to Life's Funniest Moments.
Pockets. Noodles. Jingles. Crab cake. Freckles. Dumpling. Chester. Dinky. Bobo. Pickles. Shalimar, and Chuck.
See you next time.